What's good, YouTube? Lil Davi back here with another video, and I am eating while I'm recording this video. Yes, I am. But I just came to make this video for you guys because I finally passed my driving test. Well, not finally. My first time taking it, but I wanted to come on here to help those of you that are going to be taking your test in Ohio and just tell you the measures that I followed, especially for people like me who came from a different country to take the test. So, if you relocate to the U.S. from a different country, you cannot do what you can do when you move from a different state. So when you move from a different state, all you have to do is turn in your prior state license within 30 days and you get that state license. Now, if you're a foreigner and you have a foreign issued ID, you gotta go take the permit test, and then the permit test is the computer test, and then you gotta take the actual driving test. So my first day in Ohio, no, my second day, would you believe, out of the blue, I just went and literally took my permit test like straight off the bat. Reason being, the lady said you could take it 1,000,000 times if you wanted to. And I was like, shit, can I take it now? And she was like, yeah. So I took it. I took the permit test. I passed. And I was like, yeah. So I got my permit. I know I showed you all that. And then something great came. My license. Why I say something great? Well, obviously it is something great. So let me be honest with y'all. I've been driving. I started driving classes when I was 16. I'm 21. I've had my Bahamian license since I was 17. I'm 21. So in essence, 4 or 5 years, I've been driving. So I already knew how to drive. Now, before I took my tests, I did some driving on the road, obviously, over here first. But that was literally only for like a week. And I already know how to drive. So, yeah. And I did driver's ed in my country in order to get my first license. So, I didn't do any type of driver's ed over here because I didn't need one. It was just a transference. But if you fail your Ohio test, your maneuverability test, I think that's the one where you have to do the driver's ed for. No, I think if you fail any part of that test, you have to do driver's ed online. It's an online course thing that they want you to complete before you could even get your license again. So thank God I didn't have to do that. So let's talk about it. So first of all, I would highly recommend the Seven Hills. And the reason I came across Seven Hills is because of a female that I was talking to. She told me about Seven Hills. She's from over here. And I went on YouTube and I watched some videos, and like literally everyone in the comments like, Seven Hills is a good one. They're very nice and it's easy and you just drive through a neighborhood and this and that. Because I got my temp in Batavia. But, you know, I'm going to just be real. This is Ohio. You know, there's not a lot of my kind in certain areas. And I know that sometimes, especially coming from a different country, people will discriminate against you and they will make it hard for you. So I just went to the place that was recommended. And if you live in Ohio and you live in Cincinatti and you want to take your test, I would literally recommend the Seven Hills driving station. They were pretty nice. It was a mixture of people. My instructor was dope as hell. She was real cool. So I passed my driving and I passed my maneuverability. I have never practiced the maneuverability. Now, my driver's test that I had in the Bahamas and the driving testing that I did and my driver's ed classes actually encompassed like a bunch of different things. Like we had to reverse backwards and we had cones set up, but it was like way more complex than driving through those cones. So the thing I would say is keep watching, because if you hit a cone, obviously you fail the entire test. But if you watch where you're going and you see yourself hitting a cone, about to hit a cone, just pull up, fix yourself, and pull back out, because you only lose 2 points by doing that. Another thing is you can't stop. You have to drive the whole time. Even if you drive slow, you cannot keep moving and stopping. You have to literally drive that entire time. If you feel yourself, like I said again, about to hit a cone, please, y'all, please just go up and take your 2 points, because if you hit that cone, you fail. There's nothing coming back out of that. You literally fail once you hit that cone. The cones are very tight. I would recommend you go in the smallest car that you could literally find. Those cones are very tight. And what ended up happening is I was so used to driving my red car that I just got. And I'm in a different car now, and it's a bigger body car, and it's a smart car, so it's like way different. And I had done my test in the car that I have now. And literally my mirrors are wide, my car's big body. So it wasn't. And see, another thing is, bro, I came from a country where I was literally driving on the left-hand side of the road and driving in right-hand cars. So now to be driving on the right-hand side of the road and left-hand car, I'm literally, like, it was so much mixed up for me. But once you get it, you'll be fine. You'll get used to it. It's not as difficult as you think it is. Trust me, I promise you. Like, I know people say that all the time, but I was afraid. I rescheduled my driving test literally like 10 times. My driving test was actually supposed to be from the second week in February, I think. And I literally just keep reschedule. Don't take it if you're not ready. Make sure you've actually, if you know how to drive like me and you just come from a different country, then practice for like a week and you'll be fine, in my opinion. But if you're a new driver, please do not take that driving test unless you are very confident, because Ohio is different. You fail that test, you literally have to go pay to take a driver's ed class, and you don't want that. You want to hit that shit on the first go. And if you want to go somewhere where the environment is good, go to Seven Hills, bro. You know, so yeah, overall, I thank God for guiding me. I also did not go into there clueless. I watched a lot of videos of people doing the maneuverability test, so that when it was time for me to execute it, I would know exactly what to do. I already know how to drive. I literally park and pull out of the tightest spaces in the world. I know how to parallel park. I know all of that stuff. I've been driving for literally, like I said, 5-6 years. So doing the maneuverability wasn't the hard part. The hard part was watching the videos and learning exactly what maneuverability was, because I didn't know, and knowing all the basics. So, you know, literally, when you're on the driving portion of the test, please know the speed limits. Do not drive too slow or they will fail you. What I would say is make sure that you stop. Do not roll past a stop sign. Make sure that you signal within 100 feet of approaching any stop. Make sure that you signal. Do not signal when you stop. Signal before you stop. So when they start to say, at the end of this corner, you must take a right, like couple seconds after that, you start to turn on your turn signal. You make that right. You pass to the school zone. You drive slow. You see a pedestrian crossing, stop, make sure nobody's coming, none of that stuff, all of that different stuff, right? And you will be fine. They literally had me driving through a neighborhood in Seven Hills, like it was not on the main road or anything. And then you only do one side, so you don't do both sides for maneuverability. They'll just tell you which side to go to. So I drove all the way up to the top, and when I was about to come back in, I realized like I closed too tight and I was very close to the cone. So I just spin back up, and then I gauged myself and I moved a little bit away from the cone, and I came back and I passed my test. So like I said, if you gotta pull up, pull up. But congrats, good job. I hope that everybody do well, especially the people that, you know, especially the people that come from where I come from. Like, we come from different countries, we come to America. It's not easy, but getting these things is like a success story for us, you know. So yeah. Anyway, y'all, make sure like, comment, subscribe on this video, and I hope that you guys do well on your tests. Just follow the things that I say. Check out the videos on YouTube. They are there. And also go and do some practice tests. You could also take the perm test online. Peace.